Port Nelson. Not much here. Um, Grumpy Fisherwoman. You've met the bartender. Um, that would be Juba the bartender, and I don't know if you got the old woman's name.
I didn't actually write it down.
When we're gonna steal the ship from? Yeah, we know her name. I don't remember what it is.
The bartender did tell
Esperanza.
us. There, yeah, Esperanza. Yeah, the bartender did tell us her name. I forgot and didn't write it down.
All right, so I'll assume you guys have been hanging out at the bar. Might have been some drinking. Um,
Oh, there was for sure some drinking
I
involved.
believe you stayed overnight at the bar, and
Yes.
he let you guys stay out of the elements a little bit under the overhang. But morning comes. It's a clear enough day. There's a young man out on the beach with a spear, just trying to catch some fish out there. It looks like he's covered in tattoos. You see Esperanza uh, moving, hauling stuff back and forth from her tartane over at the docks.
I mean,
What's everybody doing?
we probably just sort of hanging out, waiting for night to fall so we can make off with the boat.
Well, I mean, did you guys rest tonight? Would you have
I think
like
resting would have been good considering our narrow escape from the other island.
okay?
Mm.
Well, that means you have a whole day to kill before night's gonna fall.
Yes, but we're at a bar, and I have something like 233 silver pieces.
That is definitely going to keep you entertained at the bar for some time.
Oh yeah, we'll be drinking and gambling, and
I have to step away for a moment.
are there any ships proposed to pull in here soon? Do they know of any ships coming?
So I assume you're asking Juba the bartender?
Yeah.
He's going to tell you, well, we don't get many visitors. Uh, the rare, uh, the rare stop from the Royal Navy. It's very, very infrequent.
And when last did they frequent?
Uh, they're about 3 weeks. Not like to see them anytime soon.
Well,
They tend to come through and run off any riffraff. Don't seem to be gainfully employed. They might press uh, press a man if they think that he knows how to tie a knot.
Well, with that information, I think we'll just hang out at the bar.
Okay, you very well can do that. Um,
I'm back.
Welcome back.
welcome back. All right. Well, yeah.
We learned the Royal Navy is not due in for a little while, so we should be good to go.
And you gentlemen haven't met Gilbert's character. He's somewhere. I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Mm.
What's your character's background?
Guard. With a keen eye for mischief.
I mean, it's more than likely that he's the muscle at the bar.
Ah. Well, Muscle's always willing to work for a more reasonably negotiated contract. Wouldn't you say, Blue?
Usually, I mean, how does he look? Does he look like he can actually handle himself?
Pretty sure he looks kind of fucked up. I mean, that's nothing new. Gilbert, would you like to describe your character?
Is Gilbert here?
I'm here.
Gilbert is playing Baldur's Gate.
No, I just haven't closed it.
Gilbert is put
I-
on the spot.
I was, however, put on the spot, and I'm still
Yeah.
trying to find an image. You know what? You know what? We'll just go with Skeletor and a pirate's hat. There we go.
So
Well-
he's a definitely a unwell individual. There's a
Bit
lot more
bony
bone
around the
showing than
edges.
should be. He might not be a skeleton, but there's a lot more skeleton visible than there should be. The bartender does not pay him any mind for this, mind you.
Well, considering our experience on the ship, I think we wouldn't be completely off guard by a skeleton-esque human being.
I got to step away again, guys. My apologies. Doggo being doggo.
Well, I guess I got a fishing pole. I could spend some time out on the docks, getting a better feel for the ship we're gonna steal.
Okay.
Getting good set of eyes on it and perusing the possibility of the five of us stealing it. Looking over ideals and plans for stealing it. So I believe you said it's out of the water, right?
I'm back.
Welcome
no,
back.
there are two boats. There's a long boat with a collapsible sail that is dragged up on the beach, turned upside down. And then there's a tartane, which is sort of a sloop-sized vessel, and that's at the docks.
Oh, okay.
That, I mean, it's a project. You could pull it up on shore if you needed to careen it or something and get the barnacles off, but you wouldn't do that day to day. So
The sloop's bigger than the longboat.
The tartane
The
is
tartane.
bigger than longboat. Yes, the tartane is, you know, like it's an actual vessel. I mean, clearly it's being used for fishing. There's no cannon on it, but it's the same size as a sloop, which is a pretty typical pirate sort of vessel.
Right. How many people would you need to run a tartane minimum?
Probably three. Really, to fully crew it, you'd want something like 9 people.
Right, right. Fully crew, but I'm talking about like absolute minimum. You know, if we were to hijack this thing in the middle of the night and just sail off with it.
You could do it with 3.
Well, then while we're sitting at the bar, I would probably kind of at some point approach Mr. Skeletor here and be like, yeah. So what brings you to this shit heap of an island?
I think he's away.
He said he was back.
Gilbert, are you back or are you away?
Ah, for fuck's sake.
I am back again.
Okay. Did you hear what we were doing, or?
Sort of.
So I approached you and
Managing
kind of
the
asked
doggo.
what brought you to this shit heap of an island.
You bumbling boob! I came here for work.
And how has that been treating you so far?
Poorly.
Well, me and my associate over there, as I point to Gregoria, we're about to embark on a bit of an expedition. High risk, high reward type deal. But we're looking for a third. We'll cut you in for an equal share if you come with us instead of just working here for this guy.
This does sound more profitable. Agreed.
Excellent. We're setting out tonight. So pack your bags and, kiss your mistress or whatever you need to do. You won't be back for a while, I think.
All right, and then I do that. Yeah.
Fair enough. Juba's not too distressed by it. He doesn't need a lot of muscle around here.
And Juba's his mistress?
I'm sorry, what?
You boob! I'm off to go adventuring.
I said Juba's his mistress.
I think Juba just takes a drink and says, well, I ain't gonna miss that.
So on that, I think we're just waiting for nightfall.
Okay. Well, Ruffles, you said you were scouting out the docks, I think.
Yep. Just spending the whole day fishing out there and any patterns I can pick up on, etc.
Yeah. Esperanza goes back and forth from her boat. She seems like she lives aboard, but she's not always on there. Um, she has a dog on the boat. You don't hear him really. He doesn't really bark, but you do kind of hear the pitter patter of feet. And at one point, while you're fishing, you see him through one of the ports briefly. He gets up uh, on 2 paws and kind of is looking through there because, you know, he's real bored, clearly.
Does he look like this?
No,
Oh.
definitely not also. And I wish that wasn't even in the chat. Oh, good. It's not in the chat.
I killed Mikhail.
That's what happens, yeah, when you post that image. I understand.
Funny.
I even watched that show. Things that make you just go, "Ooh."
Yeah.
Wait. That image bothers you?
Anyway,
So how do I do fishing?
I mean, if you're attempting to actually catch fish, that's probably some kind of roll. Let's see.
Ah, yes, Pirate Borg. How to fish.
Um, well, we probably just call it a strength test to reel in your fish. I mean, we could. There's a bunch of things you could do depending on what the tough part is, but we'll call it a strength test to reel in your fish. So that a 20 is your strength test.
It looks like.
Okay, absolutely. So, I mean, with a 20, you definitely catch something. Why don't you roll me a die and I'll figure out what you caught. Let's see. Call that I don't know, a D6, something like that. Okay. Not anything large.
Lunch for later.
One sardine.
I'm not that familiar with all the fish in the Caribbean, so let's see what we can find here.
It'd be like cod, tuna, swordfish.
Sardine.
I don't know that you're
That'd be
catching anything.
north.
I don't think you're catching anything fancy off the docks.
No, I suppose I'm not thinking. I'm thinking deep sea because that's like when I went deep sea fishing, and that's what we were fishing for.
You've been deep sea fishing?
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew you were the source of Innsmouth up in Wisconsin. You fish
I don't know.
fucking freak.
It's just some small fish about the size of the palm of your hand. It's flat and blue.
It's a piranha.
It doesn't seem like it's got the chompers for that.
What's the freaking one that I'm thinking? Anyway,
This
yeah.
is
So we wait for
some kind
nightfall.
of grunt fish, I think. I don't know.
Snapper. That would be the. They get pretty big, but that would be the size that you'd catch on the shore like that.
So there you go. But yeah. Uh, Esperanza returns to her vessel around the time it gets dark. She's got quite a few fish. Um, she's got a stick and she's got maybe half a dozen. Uh, and they're between I don't know a foot. Around, I don't know, they're probably average about a foot long, and they're all hanging from her stick she's got over here, and she's hauling them all back in.
Sorry, Esperanza is the tartane, not the longboat.
Yeah, the longboat's just been sitting on the beach. She hasn't been using it today.
Okay. But it looks like she lives in the tartane?
Yes.
Okay.
Perhaps we should steal a different boat.
It's just one old woman.
Yep.
That's true. It's just one old woman. And it's pretty clear. I mean, she's the only person on that boat. So she couldn't sail it off if she wanted to. Okay. So, yeah, she disappears into the vessel as it's getting dark. Um, you guys still hanging out at the bar. Juba's going to tell you if you're trying to stay again, you're going to have to pay.
Well, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll tell them what. Yeah. How much?
We'll call it 7 silver for the drinks and another 3 for the night.
All right. I'll happily pay 10 silver.
The price just went up. Happiness costs extra.
And then he's going to grab what he has unsecured and take it with him, basically into the back and lock up and leave you guys just alone at the bar under the overhang.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Is there anybody else active in the town at the moment?
Yeah, I mean that kid that was spearfishing earlier, he's been running around. Um, right now he's uh over down the beach a ways. It looks like he's just been like throwing knives at a log.
Should I hire him? I need a cabin boy.
Mm, no. I mean, we'll wait till like 1, 2 in the morning. When everyone's asleep and it's dead quiet out. Then we'll take the
Yeah.
ship.
All right. Well, I mean, there's not that many people here on the island. It gets quiet pretty early, and the young man, he's pretty much the last to disappear. Um, but he just kind of wanders down the beach, um, and kind of out of sight.
Alrighty. Well, I think then we should go. I think we grab our stuff and make our way towards the tartane.
Yep. I can sneak on and dispatch the old woman.
Perfect. Old Lace here. I want you go and grab the. I assume it's like tied off the dock at a point.
It is.
Yeah, you should probably grab that. I'm gonna. How many points is it tied off on?
1 fore and 1 aft.
All right, grab the 4 1. Old Lace, I'll grab the aft.
Old Place does that.
Move our
Okay.
rowboats around too, maybe. No point in leaving them behind.
Why don't we get the tartane mobile and then we'll worry about rigging up our
Okay.
rowboats.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Just row out a line too. Wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, like someone can always swim over and grab it.
All right. Well, then I sneak on board and kill the old lady and hopefully not the dog.
Okay. Well, it's easy enough to climb up on deck. Um, it's not a large vessel. Um, you can clamber down into the hold and see what's down there. It is pitch black, by the way. Like, if you don't have the starlight, you definitely can't see into that hold at all.
Even with dark vision adaptation, like just having natural night vision.
No, there's no light
Oh.
down there at all.
It's very well sealed, and there's no deck lights, eh?
She definitely does not have any lights going. I mean,
Well, a deck
she's
light's
docked
a
and she's trying to
hole in.
sleep.
Yeah, a deck light is just a hole in the deck with a piece of like crystal or something in it to allow natural light to pass through. You know what they are.
She does not have any lights. This is a very simple. Actually, I don't know if I have a better image.
That was literally just wiki on the first result for Dartane. The one that I posted.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah, that's pretty good actually.
Yeah, a small aft area.
Yeah, it's a 4 aft rigged vessel. There's not a lot to it. Um, it just has one like central hatch down, um, and there's a door at the bottom, but it's not very large.
All right. So what can I make out if just looking at shadows?
Uh, well, you can see down the hatch to the bottom of the ladder where this door is, and this does look like it's a compartment they've added in. Like this would normally not be here, but since she's living in it, uh, she has added a door.
Yeah, she added a bunker room, so to speak.
It does not, um, it does not. It does not catch you as being particularly sturdy, but it does block light pretty well.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go down. I don't plan on lighting a torch. That's kind of just like, hey, I'm right here, by the way.
That's fair. Is there This is a moment where we have to make a decision about what constitutes a good. I guess it really should be. Um, I'm not going to roll presence for them, but it needs to be a presence check for them to detect you. So, yeah. I'll have you roll the check. They will need to succeed with a 12. So you succeed if it's less than a 12.
Okay, so I'm just rolling a flat d20.
Yep. Okay. You reach the bottom soundlessly, and with that roll, I will say the door is slightly cracked. Um, so you don't even need to unlatch it or anything.
Okay. Well, then I will ease it open and see if I can start making out silhouettes now that I'm in, more of a dark and my red cones are kicking in.
So as you ease open the door, a little bit of visibility, um, just right where that door is cracked. You can't see anybody in there. It really just you smell fish though. It does smell like fish in here. Um, yeah, smells very strongly like fish in here.
Okay. Well, then I'll open the door the rest of the way and start making my way inside quietly to see if I can find the old hag and kill her.
Okay. You open the door uh, a a little more so that you can squeeze through, and just about the time you have enough room that you would fit, the door nudges up against something, but whatever it is has a little bit of give.
Well, I'd stop as soon as I hit it. I wouldn't continue pushing.
Okay.
Is the door open enough that I can move through the opening?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, then I'll do that. Start heading inside, looking for the old lady to kill her.
Okay. It's not a very long search. Pretty much as soon as you open the door, uh, you can kind of see um, just her feet with the amount the door is open, but you can tell that there's somebody is laying there on basically on a mat on the floor. They're not even in a hammock.
All right. Well, we'll head over there and then stab her twice.
Reasonable, and there is a dog, definitely on this lady, just like sleeping on top of her.
Like on her chest or like on her legs?
More on her legs.
Okay. Well, as long as her torso's not obstructed, then yeah.
Go
Two
for
skewers
the
to the heart.
throat.
Well, I mean, it's no called shots or anything like that, so unfortunately, I can't.
Make your attack.
All right. I am using my knife knave feature, which is start with 2 dice. When you attack with them, you can make 2 attacks in a turn. They are DR 10s to hit, and if the first attack hits, the second is an auto hit.
So be it.
And I think it's strength to attack, right?
It is.
I will use my devil's luck on that.
That's reasonable.
All right.
That is definitely a hit.
All right. Do you want me to roll the second attack with that wording? How it is?
You should roll to see if you crit.
Oh, true. No crit.
No crit. Roll your damage.
All right. Actually, I'll use my other devil's luck and just max damage that, so 8 damage.
Okay. Yeah. Um, what's your description on how you eviscerate this old woman in her sleep?
Oh, just a clean stab to the heart.
Okay. Honestly, with that, I think just hand over mouth, uh,
Yeah.
two swift stabs to the chest, very quiet. She barely even like opens her eyes.
Well, I'll make my way back up topside and signal to Blue and Old Lace to loose the boat.
Okay.
The old hag's dead.
About the time you make it topside, uh, you can hear a whimpering dog.
Yeah, we'll deal with that.
Yeah, I untie my thing. I assume Old Lace is untying his,
Yes.
and we board the tartane. And is there like a plank that runs from the ship to the dock?
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Then once all 3 of us are aboard on the tartane, we pull the plank on board.
All right. You haul up the gangplank.
I'm assuming there's some oaring for shore maneuvering? Or
There isn't any on deck. Um, it's probably a safe assumption that they would have something to hand, but really, um, like you're facing out to sea. It's a gentle breeze, but it's also a southerly breeze. Uh, so it's
so we just need to get the
probably,
rigging out.
yeah.
Well, then we do so.
Indeed.
I have a question. Did this old lady do something to you, Ruffles?
No.
She owned a boat.
Yeah.
That's about
Gregorio's a
it.
boat thief. Gregorio's a boat thief. Like, that's literally his background.
Fair enough.
He's in the way of me stealing the boat. Solution. She's no longer in the way of me stealing the boat.
Yeah, we can give her a nice proper burial at sea once we're away from Port Nelson.
Yeah, I think we have 2 rowboats, right?
Viking funeral.
Yeah. Keep one rowboat,
We're
so
not
we
going to
have
waste
one.
a boat.
Oh, okay. Let's tie her up with some driftwood.
I mean, yeah, you just wrap her in a sheet, poke her in the ribs so that her lungs deflate, and toss her overboard.
Well, I think she's poked in the ribs good enough. That's how I done her.
All right, well,
Wait, you slept with her before you killed her? You sick fuck.
No, after.
You
Okay.
sicker fuck.
You unmoor the vessel, and between the three of you, you're able to get her underway. And just about the time you unfurl sail, that dog starts a woo, just a howling, uh, like there's connotations to that didn't used to exist. I can't say. I cannot make that sound. Remind me to never ever do that again.
What?
Ooh
Yeah.
Well, ooh woo.
Anyway,
ooh woo is
so
weird. I think what
All
you
right,
mean is
well, I'll
so
have
the
below
dog
deck
is
give it a quick
yeah,
cognitive reset.
that is what I said. But the dog is howling.
Yeah, I'll go below deck and give it a quick cognitive reset.
That doesn't sound
Non-lethal.
friendly.
Non-lethal. Just a boop on the
you're
head.
gonna fucking beat the dog. You sick fuck.
If you go below deck, the dog starts growling and it's backed up in the corner.
Hmm. Can I pull out the snapper that I caught and offer it to it?
You can definitely do that. The dog is definitely way too freaked out to take food from you.
But he's not howling right now. He's just snarling at me.
He's backed up in the corner and he's snarling. And like when you reach out closer with the fish, he he like yaps and snaps a little bit, but he's clearly just staying the fuck away from you.
Yeah, but he's not howling.
No, he's not howling.
Okay. That's good, because the howl carries more in the sound. I mean, the wind is in our favor for the sound carrying anyway, but regardless, we don't need the dog's howls going back to the port this quickly. But yeah, snapping and snarling, those are quick, sharp notes. They won't last
The
as long as
dog's
the
not
howl.
howling, but actually you hear howling. It's just not coming from the dog anymore.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like it's actually an animal though. It sounds like somebody, like a person, is howling.
Where is this sound coming from?
Down the beach a ways.
Oh, like
It's
where the
hard
kid
to
wandered
tell.
off to?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, well,
I mean, Old Lace and myself are on deck, Ashy, he's manning the sail, I'm manning the rudder. So, would we see anything going on or hear this?
Yeah, you definitely hear the howling. It's definitely coming from like it sounds like it's coming from like the jungle near the edge of the beach, but it's hard to say.
Well, guys, do you think we should check it out or just keep going away from Port Nelson?
we've got the ship. I've never met anything that can howl and swim as well as a boat can sail.
The dice say I think we should investigate.
All right. All right, I started using the rudder over to start getting us towards the, following the coastline towards where that howling's coming from.
Sure, that's not too bad. You can tack that direct. Well, it's not even tacking. You can head that direction. It's sort of a southwesterly wind, so you can just kind of go west along the beach.
Sure. I'm keeping at least 50 yards offshore.
Sure. You've got a pretty shallow draft, so it's pretty safe to maneuver around here. Um, it looks like Um, it looks like there's a campfire out there in the woods or out there in the jungle. You see smoke before you see any of the orange flickering, but uh, yeah.
Is the howling still going on?
Uh, no. The dog has stopped howling, and a few minutes after the dog stops howling, the howling over there stops. By the time you get to where you can see the fire, it's quiet.
I take a look on like the upper part of the ship here. Is there like a telescope or some other type of navigational aid that I could use to look at the shore from here?
I mean, the ship's pretty poorly provisioned. Um, there's no telescope up here. I mean, it's clear that this lady's been living in it and using it as a domicile rather than a vessel.
Gotcha.
I mean, she sailed it at some point, but honestly, she probably sold all of that stuff for drinking money some time ago.
Right, right. If you're just
There
using
are
it.
empty bottles rattling around as you sail.
Okay, well, from from the boat, can I see anything besides just evidence of a campfire? Like, is it an obvious campsite that I can see materials there? Are there people?
The brush is pretty thick. There's clearly some kind of little trail from the beach. Like somebody's foot traffic is going back and forth there a lot. But you can't actually see much of any kind of campsite other than being able to just kind of faintly see a little bit of a flicker of orange here and there through the trees and seeing the smoke like coming up above the canopy.
Okay. Does the ship have an anchor?
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking, guys, we drop anchor here, 50 yards offshore, take the rowboat in, and investigate this trail, campsite, campfire-y thing. Thoughts?
Sounds good to me.
Think there's money up there?
I have no idea. Maybe. But it's also possible that it's just a campsite, and worst case scenario, we raid it for supplies, because the ship is not exactly provisioned for a long trip.
We have a giant crab for food.
I thought we sold that.
You did.
I thought we sold the 2 whole ones and we kept the one that we had started eating.
I don't know. I don't have it on my inventory sheet, so.
It was Scent and Pete were the ones that were hauling those around, so.
Right. Well, I don't hear any objection in that, so let's set anchor and row up to shore then.
Wait.
Okay.
Oh, never mind, never mind. I just realized there was no Friday night game, right?
There is a Friday night game usually at around 10 o'clock Eastern, but it looks like 4 people there are not going to be able to make it, so I think we're just going to not have that game tonight.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we have
Convenient.
4 of 7 no showing, so.
Okay, so yeah, you guys row yourselves ashore. Um, roll me a d12. Oh, that ain't bad. Okay. That one I'm not super familiar with, but we'll figure that out in a minute. Okay, so you hear some singing. Uh, it's pretty sloppy, but you hear some singing coming from the jungle as you approach.
Are the voices human?
It's a voice.
Okay. Can we tell if it's male or female?
It's definitely male. He's singing this song. He's clearly inebriated and slurring his words a bit as he does.
I just heard him confess to a crime. Maybe there's a bounty. He murdered someone called William Moore.
Uh-huh. Well, let's go talk to the scallywag.
All right. You just walk down the footpath.
Don't see any reason why not.
Okay. Yeah. It doesn't take too long. Um, probably less than a minute into the woods. There he is. There's a nice little clearing, a little campfire, a hammock set up between two palms. Um, it looks very cozy. There's not a lot to it. Couple of busted old uh, barrels and some empty bottles, and there's that same uh, young man sitting there. He's laying in his hammock, drinking and singing and just kind of swinging as he does.
Does he have provisions?
No, I mean unless a couple of bottles of booze count.
Blue. I don't think he has anything of worth.
Sure doesn't look that way. All right, let's go back.
Okay. Um, if he hears, I assume he's gonna hear you say that. You said that out loud, yes?
Yeah,
Gilbert?
and we weren't exactly being stealthy. We were just walking up the trail.
Okay. He does
I
throw
don't
his
think
bottle
Gilbert's character has
at
a
the
stealth
skeleton
setting.
man. He
Wait,
takes
what,
a big
Ruffles?
swig. He takes a big swig of his bottle and throws it at the skeleton man. It doesn't hit you. He's very drunk. You're pretty sure he swears at you before he falls out of the hammock.
That actually takes talent.
Fool!
I'm gonna go mad.
You
That's
couldn't
impressive.
fight gnomes in your condition.
Chip, chip, chip.
Chip, chip, chip.
You think he
Wait till
said
you-
something about your mother, but it's hard to tell because his mouth is full of like sand and dirt.
All right. Look, if you want to, we can beat him up and take his shit. Just as a example of not to piss people off by throwing bottles of booze at them.
No,
We have full
no. I feel
ones.
like that sends the wrong message.
What's the?
What are you suggesting? You want to like flay him alive and leave his corpse, strung up in the trees?
Oh God, no.
Right now, he is threatening to gut you with a spoon. You're pretty sure he meant to grab his knife, but he's seeing double. So
Talking a lot of shit for a drunk. I'm gonna go kick his ass.
he stumbles towards you and he like topples over briefly into his own campfire. Uh, it's a small fire, so he mostly puts it out, and he just lays there in the dark, saying "ow."
Oh, we should hire him. Keep him around for entertainment.
Is he wearing pants?
Yes, he is wearing pants,
I
no
pants him.
shoes. Okay,
Wait, oh, he has no shoes?
no shoes, just pants.
Damn, I was gonna steal his shoes.
He doesn't have much of anything to steal. Uh, he has that spoon. He has one broken bottle of booze he tried to hit you with. He has another bottle of booze sitting by his hammock. And he has a couple of knives, which he had been throwing at the tree. And one of them is stuck in the tree, and one of them is sitting in the dirt because it fell.
Well, I've pantsed him. I feel like that's enough. I can't screw him over harder than life already has.
Does he have a purse?
Um, make I guess it's a presence roll, presence test. He clearly doesn't have any money.
Okay. Right.
It's a catchy song, though. You guys learn his sea shanty before all that.
All right. I've written down Captain Kidd under sea shanties then.
Very nice.
All right. Back to the rowboat and the tartane. By the way, does the tartane have a name on the side or the back or something?
It does. Let me find that for you. Hold on. It's the Starfly.
Okay. In this time period, were ships titled by name?
I mean that's pretty typical. I mean it can be changed. The thing would have to be rechristened, otherwise it's bad luck.
Right. I'll grab one of the bottles of booze from the drunk before we leave. Then.
Okay. You take his
Half-assing
last
it.
remaining bottle.
Yeah. Because if that ship's name is known, we're gonna want to change it. So.
No, yeah, you change it regardless.
He calls you a filthy sneak thief, but won't even let a man have a drink.
I look him like dead in his drunk eyes. Well, I'm no sneak thief. I'm taking this in plain view of you. And there's nothing you can do to stop me. And then I just walk away.
You're pretty sure he pissed himself, based on the smell, as you pass by him again. But yeah,
Like, I might be a thief, but I am not in any way sneaking about.
you're. By the way, he's still ranting. You're pretty sure he still thinks you're all over there. And he thinks he's really got it up on you now because you know nobody's talking to him, so he must be winning the argument.
Mm-hmm.
So you go back to the boats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, you could definitely return to the boats. There's no giant, like, you know, crocodile or crazy nonsense that attacks you. It's all very calm. You row back to the tartane.
Right. Is there any paint on the ship?
Um, well, I mean, there's an angry dog in the hold, so you guys haven't really gone below to search.
Right. Well, Old Lace and I are going to have to man the sails and the rudder. So, Gregorio, can you see if there's any paint down below to rechristen the ship while we sail away from this island?
Aye.
Great. And then I set a course southwest.
All right, you set a southwesterly course.
And I play Who's a Good Boy.
Okay. The dog's laying by the dead lady. Um, and it sees you, and it kind of backs up, but stays near the deceased lady. It is continuing to keep you in line of sight and just growl at you and stay the fuck away from you.
Yeah, that's all good. All right. What else do I see down here in this area?
Well,
Obviously, yeah, I'll bring a torch down and everything now that we're moving away from the island, and light won't be an issue.
there's a bit of fresh water in a barrel. Um, there's a little bit of salt meat in a barrel. Um, there's a small pot of paint for touch-ups. You definitely couldn't repaint the ship with it. Um,
Is there enough in there to rechristen the ship, though?
I mean, you could paint over the name, but you couldn't put a name on it because you've only got the one color.
Well, you could scrape the paint off and then paint a new name.
Sure. But the color is the color of like um it's the color that most of the hull above the waterline has been painted. So,
Oh, it's painted above the waterline? That's a waste of paint.
well, it's pretty wore out. Um, you know, it hasn't been repainted in a long time. But
Yeah, it might be easier just to get some rocks and rub all the old paint off and then rechristen the hull with what was the hull color. It'll change the color of the ship too then.
yes, it would.
Yeah, I have shipwright, so that would probably be relatively easy for me to, well, I mean, not makeshift, but I could remove a lot of paint with enough time.
It's gonna basically holly stone it to kind of sandpaper it all off.
Yeah. Yeah, just rub the paint. So you said the paint's wore down already, so you wouldn't be like, trying to sand the entire hull of the ship.
Yeah,
You would
it's
just be
also
breaking.
lopsided because, it's been sitting in the same spot a long time, and uh, yeah, it's healed over to the side a little. So
Like the ballast is moved around? Does this ship even have ballast?
yeah, it has ballast, but
Okay.
this ship has not been maintained. So yes,
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll spend after we do our long rest, I'll spend the first day starting to do whatever maintenance I can do while in motion. Resetting the ballast, moving the rocks around down there so that it's not listing anymore. Then teaching, Joe how to stone so that he can polish some of the sides of the ships and we can eventually repaint it. Because, I mean, we're going to be sailing for a few days at least.
This is a pretty short island hop.
Well, we don't have a destination. Do we?
I said a
mean-
direction, and I figure we'll sail around till we find something interesting.
Yeah, the direction you're sailing, you can see land already. Like, there's a nearby island. Like, you could see it from the other island if you were a little higher up than the beach. Like, if you got up into the rigging, you'd have been able to see.
Right, but when we originated, before we got to Port Nelson, there were two islands we could go to. We went to the easterly one. I'm headed now towards the westerly one.
Correct.
Do we know of populace on this island? Now that we know where we are?
I suppose you still have skags with you to ask.
I had
Mhm.
honestly completely forgot about them.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah. Well, nobody's said anything about him, but he's there minus a leg.
Yeah,
I mean,
we would have
unless
brought
you
him
guys
along with
intended
us.
to leave him. Yeah. I mean, you could have left him if you wanted to.
Yeah, no
no reason
reason.
to.
He doesn't exactly. If we would have been on the ship with him long enough to know that he isn't exactly the sort to object to appropriating the tartane.
It is very clear he could not give a single shit less.
Wait, who?
Skag.
The the quartermaster of the ship that we shipwrecked on the original start of the campaign. We all forgot about him actually. So
Ah,
he was also on the shipwreck as a kind of like an NPC tutorial information sort of thing.
gotcha.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I completely forgot about him too. Oh yeah, that's right. He's still alive.
I mean, honestly, he's been resting this whole time, most likely, because he was in pretty fucked up shape.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, you could travel this distance in a day. The wind is in your favor anyway. You could travel probably even further than that. I mean, not far past the island, but you could travel past the island if you were trying to, or around to the far side in this one day.
Yeah, I would have looped us around. After we get close to the shore, would have looped around towards the north end of it. Just seeing if there's any interesting like rock formations or caves or anything.
That is, like perfect. So, you do see on the north end of the island there are three tall, narrow rocks. They almost look like claws sticking up out of the. I think they're in the water.
Claws
No,
after
they're
we
in the
just
grass, I
encountered a
guess,
bunch
by
of
the edge.
crabs.
Okay. And is it kind of like on like the top of a cliff type deal with some
It
caves
is.
to the west of it?
Yes, like this little cliff face is like Swiss cheese. It's got a bunch of little caves.
Oh, how interesting.
It's almost like you know what you're looking for.
I'm as completely surprised as you are. On the way there, would we have had time to dispose of the woman's corpse finally, so we don't constantly just have her, body down there?
I mean, after guarding her for like the whole night and then that whole day, the dog is probably exhausted enough that he's kind of like passed out, and you could probably remove her from the room. Yeah.
We give
Yeah,
her a
I'll
burial
wrap
at
her in
sea.
her. Yeah, I'll wrap her in her sheets and bring her to topside, and then still have to do something about the dog, but with the body gone, it'll be a little easier to deal with the dog. But yeah, I bring her topside, and then what else do I find down there? aside from the paint and the fish and the fresh water?
I mean, there's a lot of basic stuff packed away. Um, you know, there are hammocks. Um, clearly, she hasn't used them. Um, some basic provisions. There's fishing rods. Um, there's 1.5 oars. Um,
You're saying there's an
you know,
oar and a 10-foot pole.
something like that. Yeah. You're pretty sure the other half of the oar is what she's been. She rigged it into something to help her carry her fish. There's some empty buckets. Again, there's like a barrel of water, fresh water, and a barrel of salt meat. Um, not a lot else down there. Depends what you're looking for, I guess. Is there something specific?
I mean, general stuff for repairing the ship and anything of value, possibly, like a hidden coin purse or anything.
Make a presence roll. Yeah. Um, so with that, yeah, you would find that she has, I don't know, let's call it 3d6 silver buried away in a little hidey hole.
Do you want to roll that 3d6? I just got up. Nice.
And she did have some tools, so, a hammer, some nails, stuff like that. There's no extra lumber aboard. There's some
Nice thing about
canvas.
ships is they have extra lumber if you look hard enough.
That's fair. She does have that partition if you don't need that, where that door is.
Yeah, I mean the door. You can pull up deck boards if you absolutely need to. I mean the biggest thing that would be the most expensive, hard to come by, so to speak, for ship repairs would be the pitch or tar that they use for water sealing. I'm guessing there's not a 50-gallon drum of pitch laying around down here.
There is not.
I mean,
All right.
we could make do with lard as a
Mhm.
stopgap for that, if we had to. Um, really, the hardest material on the ship to replace is going to be the mast.
Yeah. But we are just off of Florida, so if we sail north, we can get some good pine.
Well, regardless, though, is there's these caves here, and I think we should check them out.
All right.
It's an excellent idea.
Yes, into the caves.
Indeed. And as determined by a fair die roll, looking at these caves, I would like to go the second one from the right.
So, to clarify, the way these are laid out, on the left, there is a large cave. In the center, there are 3 small caves. And then on the right, there is another large cave.
And to the
You
right
want
of
to
that
go-
is the rock formation.
And to the right of that is the rock formation.
Right.
Yes.
3 small caves, the rightmost one.
Okay.
How big are these in terms of like comparison to the size of the ship?
You definitely aren't getting the ship into these caves. You could get one of the rowboats into the larger cave mouth on either side, but not. You would have to carry it into one of these smaller caves, and it would not be fun times.
Yeah.
We just need to get close, and then we can
Yeah. Swim.
go in manually.
Or walk. Yeah, walk possibly. Yeah, let's get closer first. So we'll anchor. I'm assuming the sheer cliffs.
You broke
Uh,
up.
I
Yeah,
turned.
repeat.
We're move the ship closer. These are these sheer cliffs?
Yeah, they're pretty steep.
All right. What's the draft? We have rope, so I can throw a line down with something heavy on it and see what the.
I'm going to tell you, you have a shallow draft vessel, and you don't really need to worry about it as long as you're not trying to sidle all the way up to it.
Yeah, no, like just close enough that it's not easy to see from other positions. That's what I'm thinking. We just stole the thing yesterday, so haven't gotten around to repainting it.
Well, you're basically at the tip of this island. There's not really a great way to hide from anything coming from any northerly angle, but nobody's likely to see you um, from the west side of the island at all. Nobody's likely to see you from the south, and nobody's likely to see you from the east unless they get pretty close.
Also, there were no witnesses to us taking the ship, and the only potential witness is, you know,
Relatively drunk.
well, I was going to say dead. The woman.
Hmm.
Like, we're not, the ship is not known to be stolen yet, is what I'm getting at.
All right.
We can, like, if like a Royal Navy vessel was to come upon us and decided to stop for whatever reason, you know, we could just say, yeah, we were on an island, we bought this shitty old boat from some woman because we figured it might be useful for, you know, a little run around the island here, and we found these caves, and we decided to stop and take a look.
All right.
At which point they ask us for license and registration.
At which point I say, oh yeah, yes, I have it right here in my purse.
Money talks.
Okay, so you approach the rightmost of the smaller caves. Um, it's sort of similar to if you've ever seen one of those like storm drains that runs under the road that's just sort of barely tall enough that if you duck slightly you can walk through it. They're
Yeah.
all kind of about that size.
All right.
And now that you're closer, you can kind of tell um, the little bit of light you have. You think, like as you move your head, they might lead into the same chamber. But I will tell you, it is dark, dark in there. Past the mouth of this cave, you are not gonna see nothing.
And you did say that it's getting dark out, like the sun's going down.
Yeah, by the time you get here, for sure.
It might be best to handle this in the morning then.
All right.
And we should set a watch when we sleep. I'll take first watch.
Aye. I'll second.
I guess Old Lace is on third.
Skeletor can take third.
Okay. First watch goes off without a hitch. Second watch, that dog starts howling again. Uh, it's loud, and it just seems like it keeps going all the way through the watch. Third watch, um, I mean, you didn't sleep great, but it's your watch now. Um, yeah, that dog is still howling. Yep, it's a bad time, really. Yep, kind of sucks.
Hmm.
But
It'll warm up to us eventually.
the dog quiets down, maybe an hour or so before the sun comes up. Everybody slept miserably, but not miserably enough that I'm gonna punish you for it.
Hmm.
Well, no punishment for murdering the defenseless old lady.
No, this is Pirate Borg.
I know. I was making the joke that we. Anyway,
She made the mistake of being a defenseless old lady in Pirate Borg.
That's true. She did.
it's her own
Y-
fault. She did it
y-
to herself.
Yep.
She was the
made
one
that
person who
choice.
really shouldn't have showed up to this session. Okay, moving along. You are on board your vessel right outside this cave. What are you doing?
We should go into the cave. Drop anchor, go into the cave.
I think you guys have had an anchor dropped all evening.
Yeah. But I don't think we explicitly said it, so I'm just being explicit.
We drop the anchor again. We pull it up and put it all the way back down just to make sure it's dropped.
I'm not going to assume you guys are incompetent. You have been at sea before, so I won't do things like that to you.
Are you sure about that?
Okay.
You're,
Oh yeah,
I
we don't
don't
know if Skeletor's been at sea.
Well, Skeletor, I doubt
Underdark.
was in charge.
I am a bumbling boob.
Excellent. You can bumble in front. You lead.
Okay.
Of course. I shall leave you fools to victory.
So the
Wonderful.
cave is full of ankle-deep water, and it goes for maybe 20 feet until it opens up into a larger chamber. By the way, as soon as you enter that larger chamber, everything that's not in a direct line from the entrance, you can't see anything. It's almost completely dark. You can tell that there's wall on your right when you come in.
I
And
light my lantern.
Okay, all of a sudden you can tell that there's stuff in here. Yeah, it looks like all three of those cave mouths opened up into this same chamber. There's a big rock in the middle of it, and there's sort of a river flowing through. Yeah, it's pretty much wide open. There's a mouth at the end, kind of with the stream flowing through it. There's definitely more chambers beyond.
Anything interesting about that island in the middle of the river?
So, yeah, as you look out, basically this is I don't think you could see super far down here, so I'm gonna say you can see to the point where the cave kind of closes around the river. There's definitely still enough room to maneuver, but the chamber kind of closes in, and the only way past is to kind of get your feet wet a little. Um, there's like salt crystals jutting out from the walls. It's just briny water. A lot of stalactites. The water is it's there's not a lot of clarity here. It's definitely difficult to see where you're stepping.
I would like to pick up a rock.
Okay, you pick up a rock.
I yeet the rock into the room.
Okay, you yeet the rock into the room. You hear a kersplunk as it hits the water. By the way, your hand, you can feel something grainy on your hand.
I hold it up to the light.
Yeah, it's just there's some kind of uh uh there's some kind of white. It's not quite a powder on your hand.
A white powder.
It's almost like fine gravel on your hand.
Ah, chalk. I advance deeper into the cave,
Okay.
carefully testing the ground in front of me.
You advance further into the cave. Is the lantern following you, or are you just advancing into the dark?
I'm following behind him. Gregorio's probably behind me.
Okay. So at this point, the chamber opens up again. There's a little more cave on the left. There's some kind of winding passage to your right, and then dead ahead, um, this river gets a little deeper and a little wider, and it opens up into a larger chamber. And you can tell that there's something in the distance, like something in the water, but it's um, jutting out on like a piece of land over there.
Ah, I pull out. Where is it? I pull out my. I pull out my musket.
Okay, you pull out your musket.
Bang!
You fire your musket in the cave. There's a loud, reverberating bang. And then you hear it again a moment later, much at a much lower pitch. You hear the sound of metal striking wood, um, like a cracking sound.
Ah, the
Did you see
sound of
something?
wood.
So you've shot something, and you can tell that it sounds like you hit something made of wood. Basically, in front of you is just uh, pitch black water. Um, it's uh, and then there's some kind of like island or shelf uh, sticking up out of the water in the distance, and clearly, whatever it is that you see down there is made of wood that's sitting on top of that shelf.
We should advance. Come on, let's go.
I've got a bad feeling about this, Blue.
You want me to take point?
Yes.
All right. I'll switch up. I'll go in front.
Okay, the water gets deeper here, um, and you pretty much have to wade into it, and it gets to be about chest deep. But you approach, you pass uh, a lot of rocks. Go ahead and everybody make um, an agility test for me.
Ah, agility. I don't know where to find that.
It's on your character sheet. It's one of the main stats below the skull in the middle.
Ah, okay. What dice? D4, D2.
You roll a
D20
d20.
plus the mod.
Yep. It's just like an ability check, really. Okay. So, Old Lace, as you're walking, um, you step on something sharp. Roll a d4. Okay, you take 4 piercing damage. Not that that really is a thing, but you take 4 damage. And you feel like you're basically pinned. You have put your foot through something, and it hurts a lot.
Hit points maximum, right?
Yeah,
Right on
what's your
top of the
max?
skull?
It'll be up there, yeah.
1.
Oh,
Oh, well, I swim
Okay.
back and get him.
okay. Well, hold on. You need to go ahead and roll. What is the roll for that? Is it?
Underdark's rolled it the most. He should know.
I don't
He
remember.
might should, yeah.
You have a knack
Where?
for characters dying under.
Roll a d6 for me,
What do you
Gilbert.
mean? I haven't lost a single Morkborg character yet.
D6.
You've had a lot of fuckers go down.
Yes, I have.
Okay, so you
Uh-oh.
guys see Old Lace. He jabs his foot on something, and then he panics and he tries to lift up his foot, and he falls into the water. And it's the water is like pitch black, and you don't see him come up. And there's a couple of bubbles, and that's it.
If I had a bottle of water, I would have gone, yeah, and then poured water in to get that.
All right, I swim back and get his gear.
Okay, you swim back and get his gear. Post your gear.
I'm just standing there holding the lantern up so everyone can see.
Oh, it's just you and me now.
My gear,
The musket's the most valuable thing.
a musket.
Do you have any silver?
Well, what other gear did
Hold
you
on.
have?
By the way, when you're looting his corpse, you realize that he stepped on like a sharp rock and then fell into another one.
Bad
What
luck.
a way to go. What a way to go.
You really don't want to roll ones on those.
Yeah, don't do that.
Here we go.
All right, and then what background in the bottom left-hand side of the page, it'll tell you what your silver should have been.
2d6 times 10.
Yeah, just roll that, and we'll just take that silver and split it between Blue and I.
Yeah, and also the ancient relic. That sounds useful.
No, my ancient relic.
Look at that, we got 45 silver apiece. Fucking Blue and I are rich.
I guess, Gilbert, you probably didn't even roll that ancient relic, did you?
I didn't. I wasn't told to roll anything.
Under you have the thing. You could probably just roll an ancient relic.
Yeah, I just got to find the page. There you go. That's ritual. Ancient relics. Aha. Let's see. It's D20. 9. Mermaid scales. Eat a scale. Breathe underwater for D4 hours. So we have 1.
Okay.
Okay.
And Gilbert, if you'd like, you can go and re-roll a new character. I'm going to tell you, I don't know where he's going to turn up in this fucking cave, though.
Can I be a lazy fucking use the same character sheet?
No, you have to roll a
Okay.
new character.
You want one of the like dozen that I have just sitting around?
No, I'm good. Hold on. They're all Skeletor, though. I'm not changing the voice.
I love it.
That's fine.
Jose Papa Duvilla, a sorcerer.
Also with 1 hit point.
No.
Suboptimal.
8 hit points.
Oh, that's much better.
On par with me almost. I got really lucky on my HP pool roll though.
Comes with the feature Raise the Dead. You can raise skeletal thralls from nearby corpses.
Well,
That
Nice.
sounds like a wonderful reason for you to be in this godforsaken hellhole.
And we might have a corpse for you.
I just find it funny that I've leveled up once and I still have fewer hit points than he does.
I have 13, but I rolled really well on
I have 3.
Don't step on any rocks then.
No shit. Right, well, I guess we press on then.
Okay,
On we press.
so
Ooh,
you
a flint and
proceed
steel,
forward
that's
to
also
the
handy.
basically to the shoreline, where suddenly you go from waist deep water to almost a platform. There's like a shelf, and there appears to be an old wooden boat. It's a piragua. It's basically carved out of a log, and it's got all these runic carvings in it.
And a hole.
There, what's that? Yeah, and a bullet hole. Fancy that. There's somebody cowering inside of this piragua. And I believe you gentlemen may know him. Gilbert.
Show
You
yourself.
fools are no match for my sorcery.
What do you mean? The guy that shot at you is dead.
Indeed. That is how powerful my magic is. Don't fuck with me, boob.
All right.
What are you
Well-
doing in the cave?
Searching for bodies.
There's one right over there.
I was just gonna say, how convenient. We brought one to you. He's also the one that shot at you.
Excellent work, you bumbling boobs. I shall add this one to my thrall.
Right. Well, while you're going out to get that, I'm going to look at this boat.
So it's clear he had to duck in here in a hurry when you guys showed up. But not only is there that corpse that you gentlemen previously knew, there are several other much older corpses in and around this boat, and they all appear to be cowering in fear, much like your friend here just was.
But they're not moving.
No, they're much deader than him.
Ah, okay. Excellent. I prefer the dead to stay that way. All right. I guess I begin look like besides the log canoe with runes on it. Is there anything else like valuables here?
Roll presence. Let's get a search going.
Is help a thing?
Oops, that should be at +1, so it's a 2.
One of the corpses has a ring on his finger.
Ah, I take the ring. What's it look like?
It's also carved of some kind of fine wood, and as it leaves his finger, bad things happen. So hold on.
Uh-huh.
No, you boob. He was cursed.
Cursed?
This is not good for you.
Probably not. No. Should be interesting
Okay,
though.
so 4 specters emerge from these corpses, and they're all like, "Return the ring, or suffer my curse."
Okay,
They
here you
seem-
go.
A big fight. No, you can have the ring back.
They all seem to think that was very reasonable. Let's see. Yeah. Well, they're still there. They haven't gone away. They're like awake now. So that's a thing.
Well, do you guys want to come work for us?
No, fuck off.
How long have you guys been here?
We best do what these specters from the Netherrealm say.
They're so one of them says Tuesday. No, Wednesday. Wednesday. I'll forget them. We've been here since Monday morning.
Mondays are the worst.
Tell me about it.
Gladly.
And he goes on a spiel about how Mondays suck for like an hour.
I've been recounting every bad thing that ever happened to me on a Monday. It's a long, long list.
They might actually fight us just because of being annoyed.
They listen very intently.
3
nice
hours
go.
later.
One eternity later.
And then,
They yeah.
assuming they don't interrupt me.
They definitely do not.
Okay. And at the very end, it's like, and that is why I will never again make noodles on a Monday.
I think that's another presence roll. Make another presence roll. Okay. You have moved us with your words. You may take our boat and this ring.
Well, thank you kindly.
The specters who say knee.
Is there any, as I like put the ring on, is there anything you would prefer us to do with your corpses? Any burial rites or the like you would like observed?
One of them is going to creepily float over to you and whisper in your ear that he would like you to put one of his friends in a compromising position because he thinks it would be funny.
We oblige.
Yeah, if none of the other ones like speak up, I'm like great, and I set I pull out one of the corpses, put on the rock, pull out the other corpse, put on the rock, and these are not the two corpses of the guy who whispered in my ear, and I put like the skull facing the pelvis like down at the crotch, like he was died while giving a blowjob, that type of thing.
Okay. All but one of them are having a great laugh.
So what did you guys do in D&D? We made sex jokes with ghosts.
Yep, and then I pull the canoe into the water
Okay.
and board the canoe.
Okay. This is a terrible place for a canoe, but you can maneuver it out.
Well,
And
like, can we just go like along the walls, kind of like pulling with our hands and the like?
You absolutely can. And you can tell one of those cave exits is here. So the larger one on the far left, you're pretty sure it would be. So you could get back out to the ship with this thing.
Perfect.
Excellent.
I will tell you, there was definitely more cave.
Yeah, but
That
first we're going to secure the boat to our ship, and then we'll go back in.
okay. That is easy enough to do. They give you no trouble.
Right. So we, secure the boat. Out in the daylight, can I make sense of these runes on the ring or the boat?
Yes. In the daylight, they appear to be primitive memes of some sort. They
Nice.
yeah. Um, they look about as immature as those ghosts were.
Excellent. Right, and then after we tie up the boat, the canoe to our ship, we head back in the same tunnel that we entered before. And you said that there was like a tunnel that goes deeper in.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we keep going.
before you guys waded into the water, there was another passage that kind of snaked the opposite direction. This is a narrow pass. It's full of sharp, jagged rocks, and it's kind of difficult to traverse. So,
Before we go there, the room that had the boat and the specters,
mhm.
was there any other way out, or was that a dead end?
um, I think effectively no. I don't think there was any other way out that is relevant. Because I mean,
Okay,
you know the three exits there. You know that exit there. I think you're good.
okay, just asking for completeness sake. Well, then I suppose we go down that way. Old Lace the Second, would you mind leading? I think you got the most HP out of all of us.
Actually, I do.
Shh.
Okay. Um, sure. I will have all of you make agility checks. Um, but whoever is taking the lead, yours is going to be uh, difficulty 12, and everyone else behind you is difficulty 10.
Joy.
All right.
And who's your new character? What's his name?
Jose.
Jose. Okay. Jose's good. All right, roll a d4, both of you who failed. Okay. So you each um, cut or scuff yourself up pretty bad on those sharp rocks.
Uh-huh. I'm at negative
Blue
1.
eats it.
Ah, okay.
I only had
So-
3 hit points.
So go ahead and make a d6 roll.
Dear God, these sharp rocks are killers.
5. Okay, let's see what that does. Okay, roll a d4. Okay. So uh, he cuts himself, and then his immediate reaction causes him to bump his head on a rock and knock himself out. Your devil's luck is 0, and you're unconscious briefly, but I don't think the number of rounds really matters because you're not in combat. So you get KO'd briefly, but you're awake again after a few seconds. You are at 0 HP though. You are conscious at 0 HP.
Well, it says awaken with 1 HP and 0 Devil's Luck.
Oh, does it? Okay, then you are at 1 HP with 0 Devil's Luck.
Okay. Wow, these rocks are sharp.
Yeah, one that got me tickled.
Okay, so you make it past the sharp rocks, and the chamber opens up again. There's passages heading north and east. They all seem to split off east as well, so they're all vaguely going in the same direction.
Wait, how is there a passage going north? I'm confused. I thought we were heading south.
So the cave you were in snakes off at a weird angle. So it's basically east slightly, then south a lot through all the sharp rocks, and then east into the opening of the rope.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It does kind of like an S bend.
Right, I gotcha. Okay. Well, unless you guys have a better idea, we should just head to the right.
All right.
Okay. So I think if you head directly right from where you're at, that's probably, I mean, there's no reason to over describe this. I think it's just going to take you to this chamber and we can move along. So you reach a chamber where it opens up and there is a stone door, 10 feet by 12. It's covered in glyphs. And then there's a basin in the ground. I guess that's probably supposed to be 6 inches. So yeah, stone cave, weird, definitely man-made stone door. It's like um, yeah, it's on the far end of the chamber, covered in glyphs.
I mean, with my lit lantern, are we like, do these glyphs? Can I read them or anything like that? Or are they just more
They're
emojis?
they're definitely in some kind of language. Um, I don't know if anybody would have any experience with anything like this. So if there's anything on your sheet that makes you think maybe you would know an ancient language, that's probably worth telling me now.
No.
Let me see here.
I mean,
I steal
sorcerer's got a
boats.
shot.
I'm taking a look. Physical
I
ailment.
steal.
Hideously ugly. Yeah, just a fucking talking skull again.
Probably. They'd rather talk to the
hmm.
skull.
Well, I do have the ability to raise the dead, so I must know some kind of foul necromantic tongue. You know, Klaatu, Errata.
Tell you what, make a presence roll. That's a smarts roll, basically. So let's see. Let's see if you can decipher this based on your ability to read profane and evil things. I'll say that is good enough. It'll say so. It's a rough translation, but you can make out the words heart, sea, uh, and door and blood. Um,
C is into view, or C is
ocean,
in. Okay.
sea, ocean.
Oh, I thought you said, "Oh shit." I was like, "Wait."
No.
So heart, C.
It's definitely talking about a person, and you can definitely directly translate the words heart, sea, door, and blood.
I think one of us needs to bleed into the bowl.
All right.
Indeed.
I prick my
Gregorio, hold out your
finger.
hand.
Okay.
No, I prick my finger. Not you anywhere near me with a knife.
Okay. You take 1 damage.
He's wise. I would have taken his hand.
Gregorio, remind me again what you do.
I poke things with a big stick.
No, that's not what you do. What do you do?
Like my background. I was a shipwright.
Yeah, but what's that thing you've told us you do multiple times today?
Kills an old woman?
I steal boats.
He steals boats and the door opens. Yes. The door opens.
Oh,
I don't get it.
The passage is only those with a heart of the sea may pass the doors of blood. He steals boats.
can't take me away from the ocean. I have a heart of the sea. Yeah, I got you.
Ah. This one has water in his veins.
Well, I hope not. That'll probably lead to liver failure, and then he's going to die on us.
Pretty sure the rum will lead to liver failure sooner.
There's
Oh
a-
no! Death! What an inconvenience!
There's a 30-foot passage and there's a T-junction.
Let's go to the T-junction.
You go to the T-junction. To your left, there are stairs leading up. To your right, there is a short walk, and then basically there's some sort of platform overlooking a pool of murky water. It's about a 25-foot square chamber flooded with murky water, and there's just like a weird kind of overhang where there's a walkway partway into the room. It just dead ends straight into the water.
No railing or anything on this balcony.
No railing, and it's perfectly intact. It doesn't look like it's broken. It looks like it's intentionally just like a dead end into the water.
Hmm. Suppose they didn't have OSHA in the 1800s. That railing is not up to code.
Yeah, why don't we go there though?
Sure.
We go to the balcony.
Okay, I mean, it's only really big enough for one person to get over there at a time. It's a fairly narrow stone platform. It's comfortably wide enough to stand without fear of falling in, but like if two of you were there, it'd be crowded. Yeah, it's a big square room. It looks like it's been carved out into kind of a rectangular shape. It's like 20 by maybe 30 feet. And it's just full of murky water that comes up um, maybe 3 feet from the surface of this platform.
Well, holding my lantern aloft, can we see into the water at all, or is it opaque?
The water's gross and green and briny, and visibility is pretty much non-existent.
All right.
There are, as you hold your light up, though, there are more glyphs on one of these walls.
Oh, what do these say?
Well, somebody's going to have to decipher those.
Yes.
Yo, Jose.
What does it say?
Make a presence roll.
So the DM doesn't know. He's asking you.
You see the number 1,000, but that's pretty much all you can read with a 9.
Ah, I'm not entirely sure what this one reads, other than 1,000 of something. Perhaps 1,000 leagues. Or
Perhaps.
1,000 grains of sand.
Or 1,000 drops of blood. Uh, we should probably go up the stairs then.
Grigorio's trying to count to 1,000 on his fingers.
Okay. So, yeah, there's it's a short stairwell and it opens up into a large room. Um, so let's see. This room is about 30 by 35, I think. Um, there is sort of an outer walkway and then like a small step down. Um, and in the center of the room is this large, uh, it's a 15-foot tall clay statue with a serpent's body, bat wings, um, and it has a bunch of heads with different animal skulls. Um, there are braziers hanging in the room, uh, and all the walls are kind of covered in tapestries. So it's basically it's a 1-to-1 ratio, tapestries to braziers.
Are the
And
braziers
Tapestries, you
lit?
say?
and
Are
yeah,
the braziers lit?
yes, they are.
Interesting.
hmm They pretty much, I think, for dramatic effect, they probably light up as you come in.
Ah, okay. So they weren't pre-lit.
No,
What do the tapestries depict?
that is a wonderful question. Um, they appear to depict some kind of royals, um, and some kind of dark, horrible thing rising up out of the sea and wrecking whatever civilization they had. And it just gets progressively less good, the further along the tapestries you look. The first one is like everything's all regal and beautiful, and the second one it looks like, oh, they've had children and that's all wonderful and everything's good. And then the third one, there's some signs that things are going poorly. Um, this child has like an extra eye, and then the fourth one, uh, there's something rising up out of the sea, and then the fifth one there's a lot of things on fire, and then the sixth one there's a lot of ruins, and then the seventh one is just a horrible, um, like eldritch monster, basically.
How big are the tapestries, and are they bolted down?
Uh, let's see. Does it list the size of them? I mean, they're probably like 6 foot tall, if I'm gonna guess. I don't see the size listed here.
All right.
Do they look valuable?
Probably. I mean, you'd have to find the right person because they're old and ratty, but they definitely are very fancy and elaborate and historically significant.
Yeah. I mean, Age of Sail had a lot of historians, so you'll probably find some crazed historian in the Americas that'll buy it.
Probably.
By the way, I have a bad habit of not mentioning all the entries and exits. So this is me mentioning that on the northeast side of the room there is another passage.
Well, tapestries are heavy, so why don't we leave them here for now? We can grab them on the way out and continue exploring.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you look towards this other passage, you see that there is a short stairwell, and there's some kind of raised platform in this next room. There's a stairwell on either side of the raised platform, and there is a, I don't know how to describe this. It's basically um, it's a round stone pillar that's about 4 feet tall, and it has a bowl-shaped indentation in the top.
A dais.
Yeah, it's like a dais.
All right.
I think they use the word plinth. Yeah, it's a plinth.
Yeah, that tracks.
Okay. Anything else in this room?
Yes. Once you walk inside, you can probably tell that there's a lot inside this room. There's about 1,000 silver worth of treasure in here. Um, there are jade animal statues, a bunch of ancient golden and silver coins. There are golden pots and cups, colored gemstones. Um, yeah, and there's a stone tablet in here. And actually, we can roll for this. There's also a relic in here.
Ooh.
I wish I could remember what page anything was on in this book.
40.
Unfortunately, your book and my book are not the same.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were using the DM one.
Well, if you have it open, just go ahead and roll for one.
Okay. An undead bird.
Oh.
I think Jose would like this one.
I don't know what that means or how it works.
So, ancient relics are used to access ancient magical powers. You use your action to activate one in your possession. The undead bird is you can speak with animals that are dead or alive for d6 plus spirit rounds.
Can you be a favor and like wait, do you have a digital version of that you can just like screenshot and shoot me?
Yeah,
Cool, could you?
yeah.
I don't have a form fillable version here that I can edit.
Here you go. Put it in the D&D chat.
Awesome, thank you. Very cool.
So you have the undead bird relic. You said there's 1,000 silver of treasure in here?
Yep. That's what all of that random nonsense will sell for.
And a stone tablet.
And a stone tablet.
What's on the stone tablet?
Well, it contains a ritual you'll have to roll for.
Oh boy.
I will
Alright.
tell
like
you,
mine.
whoever reads that ritual gets it, so you might want to decide who's getting a ritual before you roll.
Do you just
May
want to
I?
roll? Do you just want to roll off for it, Jose? Because I kind of want it to. Higher one gets it.
Yeah, sure. D20.
All right. Yeah, D20.
What do I, chopped liver?
Yes.
Oh shit!
Literally, you
1%
cut
chance.
Okay.
So I read it. And I learned the weather crafting ritual. For the
Oh
next
my.
D4 hours, the weather obeys my commands. Change the direction and speed of the wind. All ships get plus or minus 1 speed, and start or stop rain, fog, or thunderstorms.
I'm going to remind you you're at 1 HP. You probably want to make it out of here with that.
Indeed.
That's quite useful in a nautical campaign.
No shit. Oh, I need to roll D4 plus spirit. I can use the ritual 5 times today.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I forgot to roll for my ritual.
Can you guys make presence rolls for me? Okay. Blue, you're pretty sure you heard something um echoing from like basically from the way you came. It's hard to say what it was. It sounded like maybe metal scraping against stone.
We might have company coming, guys. Anyone have any healing pots or anything?
I think Pete's character does, but present, no.
Unfortunate.
Most unfortunate.
You want my helmet?
Nope, I'm just going to stay in the back and attack at range.
Well, my helmet has the -1 damage, and then you can also use it to completely negate an entire attack, but it breaks.
Unfortunately, I don't want to wear a helmet for what I'm doing.
Okay.
Appreciate
I
it, though.
don't know how combat works.
It's pretty simple to pick up on. Strength is for melee attacks, agility is for ranged attacks. Oh, do you want the musket?
Yes.
All right, I'll give you the musket. That way, when you run out of bullshit, you can use that.
Oh, here's, I found it. Hey, AGR, have we had a short rest, like about 10 minutes or so?
I think that is reasonable in the time you've had.
Because that means I could have recovered a D4 HP.
Oh, I'll take that.
I mean,
Alright.
I think in the time you've been scouring for loot, that's fine.
Haha! I am back up to full.
Where
That's,
are my weapons listed?
I'm one short of full.
It'll be like on the top right. There's like if it's just a generic weapon, it'll be like weapon and this picture. Yeah, like where Greg has.
Wait, yours is form fillable?
Yeah. Let me throw that to you. I remember
Yeah,
you complaining about that.
Yeah, that'll actually be super handy. Because otherwise I gotta do a fucking printout.
yep.
Pretty sure that's the form fillable one. No, that is not. That's for creating one. 1 second. Wrong sheet. Oh, that's the one.
Okay, because it looks like this guy has no weapons.
should start with something. Like even at like you
Nope.
like interesting.
Yep. Weapon blank. Weapon blank.
Well, I guess I can give you my knives or my polearm, whatever one.
Wait, hold on. What's a Merlin spike? Or
That's a weapon.
bellying pin?
It's
A
Belaying.
belaying pin.
a belaying pin's like a club. A marlin spike is essentially like an ice pick, but a little bit tougher and longer and thicker.
I'll take the club.
They both
That
do
way
a
I can
D4.
tell. That way I can tell people to belay that.
That's true. You can.
And whack them with a stick.
Okay.
Under, you want me to just take the musket off my inventory or keep it?
Keep it because once I shoot, I'm gonna switch to other stuff. I don't
Okay.
have any ammo for it, so just what it's loaded with.
So, I think 4 ghosts pop up out of the floor. They look familiar.
Oh,
Oh.
hey guys.
And they're like, "Hey, just a heads up. You got company. Uh, they're coming this way. By the way, you're totally fucked. So, roomies.
Hey, is there? Hey, you probably know this place. Is there a way out of here that we can get to?
Do you see those big doors? You go through those.
The way we came, the way that the enemies are probably coming, also.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to stick around for the fight?
I mean, they're down a ways. You got like a minute, but like, you should fuck off or something.
Yeah, let's go. Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah.
So we just grab the loot and we skedaddle.
They're like, I like those guys.
Feel free to haunt our ship anytime. As hers running away with all the loot.
Okay. So you make it to the T intersection. You're looking down where that door is, the set of double doors, right?
Yeah.
And from the cave on the other side of that chamber, past the double doors, you see skeletons coming. So you're at this T intersection. There are many, like charred black skeletons.
And the other way from this T intersection was that platform to the water.
Yes.
I guess we're swimming forward, guys.
All right.
So you guys are going in the water?
I'm going to eat one of the mermaid scales using an ancient relic as an action on my way, but yes, we are.
Okay.
Hold on, there's a thing I have to roll once I do that. Don't fuck up. Let's see, spirit. Oh, good. I'm not stunned.
That's really good.
But having ate them, I can now breathe underwater for 2 hours.
Okay.
And then I
So-
jump in the water.
You jump in the water. Curse splash. Everybody else following?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Not going under, but
I mean, your lantern goes out.
Yeah, I mean, I would have stowed it before jumping in the water. Same
Yeah,
with the
it's all
musket.
fine. So yeah. Let's see. We're gonna. Why don't I guess you guys can make some presence tests. These are really the enemy's presence test. So you're just trying to get them to.
yeah,
You
roll
need.
low.
Yeah, you want to roll low.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Jose,
Wait,
presence test. Roll a
Yep.
d20 plus your presence modifier.
plus
Sorry.
your presence modifier.
I guess you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I was gonna
Just
say
do
I thought it was
d20.
just flat roll for just flat roll d20.
Perfect. Okay.
Sorry, the doggo is
Well,
needing to readjust.
the splash is a little loud, so they definitely know something's up. And the doors are open. Okay. Well, you guys are underwater. It's murky. You can't see each other or really anything. Um, so how did you guys enter the water? I know Under jumped in.
I would have walked in. I would have flipped my bucket over and used that as a portable breathing device temporarily to submerge myself better.
Okay.
Slipping in like a crocodile.
Well, this is a little like this isn't level with the water, so you'd have to like drop yourself in, but you could do it gently enough where you're not like you're not jumping in. Um, so that's fine. Yeah, you could use the bucket for air. You're gonna be more visible if somebody comes into the room, but that's you're still lower than the level of the door, so that should be not
Yeah,
terrible.
and then dark too. The bucket will look like a rock.
That's very possible, depending on the level of vision that these guys have in the dark. Um, and Gilbert, what did you say you were doing? You lower yourself in like a crocodile?
Yeah, I'm just gonna slip into the water like a crocodile.
Okay. So, yeah, under
Makes
you
you sick.
dive in. Visibility is pretty poor, but you can tell there's something man made down here. It's like a box, like a square box.
I start
Or
checking it out. Like a chest.
well, bigger than a chest.
Oh, like a coffin.
It's roughly coffin shaped, yeah. It's stone. You can vaguely like in the water, you could tell there's probably some kind of glyph or picture on it, but it's so blurry you can't really make it out. Um, but you can tell that there's some etching in the surface as well.
Hmm.
Um, if you are you trying to open it?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Well, this is supposed to be a toughness check to see if you can hold your breath long enough to open it, but
I can breathe underwater for 2
yeah,
hours.
so that's a negative. We're not going to worry about that. Um, okay. So yeah, you can definitely open it. I will still need an agility test though.
Okay. Not great.
Okay, roll a d4.
Not great.
Okay. Um, you get hit with a dart.
I'm at 0.
Okay, roll for it. Okay.
I just black out for a bit
I mean,
again.
yeah, it doesn't really matter. You're still fine because you could still breathe. Okay. Um, that's fine. The coffin does slide open. Um, Gilbert, you're close to the surface, so you see like a big air bubble, bloop, and a mummified corpse floats to the surface. It's wearing a bird mask and clutching it to its chest. It has the scepter. Um, yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Let's see here.
By the way, the only reason you can see this is because those skeletons brought light with them, and you could it's coming from the hallway.
All right. Well, this doesn't seem to have anything that I need to be concerned about. But that mummy,
Mm-hmm.
that's a thrall.
The mummy is a thrall.
I reach out and I make it my thrall.
Okay, how does that mechanic work? Let's see.
It says raise dead. You create a skeletal thrall from nearby corpse. They are stupid but obey your verbal commands. They tumble into bone at sunrise. Ye.
Okay. So a skeleton violently erupts from this corpse, causing an awful commotion. And another skeleton walks out onto the ledge and sees this skeleton. And you hear him say, "Oi, now's not the time for Sunday bathing. We have work to do." And he throws a rock at the skeleton that you created and turns around and walks away.
Like leaves the room.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That works.
I go up to the surface.
Okay. The skeletons are all filing up the stairs and over into that far chamber where that plinth was and all the treasure was. There's a lot of grumbling. They don't seem happy about something.
What could that possibly be, AGR?
It's hard to say, really. Yeah, they're arguing about who left the door open. It's pretty loud. There's some harsh words being said.
I imagine I, about this time, would come to underwater.
Yes, I think so.
And I see this empty coffin before me.
You do see this coffin in front of you, yes.
Is there anything else in it?
Well, I mean, around the time you're waking up, since that corpse violently exploded, a mask, like a bird mask, and like a very fancy scepter float down and land basically back on top of it.
Okay, I grab the treasure.
Okay, you grab the treasure.
Yeah, the scepter and the mask. I consider them both treasure. I grab them both.
Fair.
And then I start looking around to see if there's a way out down here.
Okay. You feel your way around. Um, it does not appear that that is the case. It appears that this coffin was left here with some intent that this be not a way out.
Nuts. Okay. Go back to the surface.
Okay.
Stealthily.
All right. So from where you are, you can see the stairwell on like the far, like you're staring across the room from the surface of the water. Like you can see down the T-junction to the stairwell, and you see several of these skeletons, and they seem to be an entourage for a man in black robes who is walking up these stairs towards that plinth.
Okay.
We should leave.
Should
He's
we?
carrying something. It's like an orb.
You boob, we should be getting out of here.
We should wait and see what the guy does. We should just we're well hidden here. We should just wait and observe. Then they'll leave, and we can leave after them.
Hello?
Hello.
Ah, hello, Hayes.
Did you do your pirate thing?
We're doing it.
Oh, have fun.
Okay.
Goodbye, Hayes.
Did he just hit?
He did.
Huh.
Okay, so you just let the man in the black robes walk up the stairs. He walks over to the room with the plinth. Um, about a minute passes by, and then all the skeletons go quiet, and then you hear this loud, low, like bassy, reverberating sound echoing through the halls, and everything kind of like shakes, and little bits of debris fall down into the water around you, like the whole island shook basically, and it's hard to say why, but it's very brief. You have no idea what just happened. Um, yeah.
I'm thinking, Jose, you might be right. Let's try and sneak out of here while they're occupied with whatever the fuck that is.
Oh, given how weirdly designed this area is, I would like to send my skeleton off somewhere else to be inconvenient and mildly obnoxious.
Okay. You want to send him where? Are you sending him towards the other skeletons? Are you sending him like
Towards
out?
the other room.
I think he's sending it on a C-3PO mission.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think he's very smart, and you can't see through his eyes or anything, but he heads over there
yeah.
and hangs out with the other skeletons.
Yeah, he's not. His objective is to be dumb and inconvenient.
Okay. He walks up the stairs, and he leaves your sight, and several seconds pass, and you hear something break, and you hear a lot of, oh, like everybody's
go.
very disappointed.
All right, guys, go, go, go.
Yeah, we sneak out of here.
Okay.
Making our way outside.
You make your way
Quietly.
past the large, heavy stone doors and towards the cave entrance. About the time you get near the exit, you see your friendly ghosts making sighs of relief and like giving you like the thumbs up, like yeah, good work.
We lived.
So you guys want to come with?
No.
Fair enough.
Alright.
See you.
And yeah, you fuck off successfully, I think.
Get back to our ship.
Okay. There are some other boats out here. There's no other ship that you see, but there are a couple of like rowboats out here.
We got more rowboats. Excellent.
They definitely left their rowboats out here.
We're taking them.
Okay. Yeah, there's 3 rowboats. So I don't know how many rowboats you're trying to put on that little boat, but
If we have to, we'll just tie them to our ship and tow them behind us.
you can definitely tow them behind you. There is nothing preventing you from doing
There's gonna be this train behind us, like
We
our
have-
rowboat, the log boat, 3 other rowboats.
Yeah. So you have a
Yeah, we have-
piragua and 5 rowboats?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just have like all of the rowboats. Might as well go back and steal the longboat at this point.
No.
Then we have all the boats that we know about.
No,
That are
we are laden with loot and treasure, and we should make our way, since we kind of know where we are now, to a major port where we can sell stuff
Yeah.
without
That's
too many
reasonable.
questions asked.
Well, you're pretty close to Nassau. You're not terribly far from Tortuga. Those are probably your closest bets. Havana's not that far off, but Spain is scary, and they're not super friendly.
Indeed, they're not. I'm a known pirate.
Well,
I
I
face
prefer
the
to go to
gallows if they
Tortuga.
catch
I'm wanted
me.
in Nassau.
You're
Oh, well.
wanted in Nassau? Okay.
All right,
I
yeah, I
made
guess
that up.
Tortuga it is then.
Yeah.
To Tortuga. Okay, so
3-hour tour later.
yeah, the wind's not exactly in your favor. It's going to be quite
Oh,
a.
it sure will be.
Oh, that's true.
Let's see here. Gotta look up how to do that. Ritual. Aha, okay. You can use your action and test spirit to attempt to cast a ritual you know. Alright. Alright, if you fail, roll on the mystical mishaps table.
Oh my.
Full book, page 66. So that's in your book. And you can't use the ritual again until dawn.
Okay. It's a D20 roll for a mystical mishap.
Oof.
Okay. All before you vanishes, and you are alone on a gray island. A figure robed in black can be seen on a boat in the distance. Gentlemen, Blue has left the building.
What? No, he hasn't? And I bring him back up as a skeleton.
No, there's no body. He's just gone.
Did that mean I
Oh.
disappeared with all the treasure that was on me?
Whatever
you got
you were
back to the
carrying.
boat and unloaded, I'm assuming.
Motherfucker!
Like,
Yeah, I would
You
have
would've-
dropped off the 1,000 silver treasure, but I would have kept the mask and the scepter.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
Well, oh, that guy's gone.
Hold on.
He is
can I
technically.
use my devil's luck on him? I still have my devil
on
luck
his
for the
mys-
day.
on his mystical mishap? I think it's happened at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know the results of it, so it's a bit late.
Well, can I use both of my devil's luck on the 2 pieces of loot he was carrying? Those
No,
just fell.
Let the man have his loot.
I'm gonna need to pay the ferryman somehow.
He got to take it with him.
Go
I
on.
know the ferryman.
So technically, you're not necessarily dead, but you are effectively dead.
I'm
Same with, like,
I'm
the
on a
second
solo
thing.
adventure through hell.
Well, purgatory, but yeah.
After
Like
what
the
I was doing,
documented
it turned. That's what I was doing. There's no purgatory for me, I think.
The DM
Well,
says you're in purgatory. You're in purgatory.
All right.
for now. But yeah. I don't know what your escape plan is. You let me know if you come up with one. But in the meantime, you might want to be rolling some new
Well-
character.
Well, I guess it depends. Is there a mystical mishap where I get teleported back? Or do I just keep going deeper into purgatory if I keep doing that mishap?
It might be like Inception.
Mm-hmm. All right, then I don't think I really have a realistic way of getting out of there.
Wait.
Outside of like of walking up to death and just like killing him and taking his job.
Fucking do it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Challenge him to a
I'm
game
going
of
to
second
walk up.
edition
I'm going to
D&D.
walk up to the guy in the black cloak, AGR, on the boat,
Okay.
and I'm going to call out, "Are you Death?"
He doesn't seem like a talker.
Is the boat there?
Yeah, the boat's there.
I step onto the boat
Okay.
and club him over the head with my belaying pin.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Fucking dies, goes to purgatory, Jack's death stride.
You hit. Roll damage.
2 points of damage.
Okay. He's gonna take his oar and push off from the shore and just completely ignore you.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can really do to him, realistically.
Seems unlikely.
Oh well.
Wait. Challenge him to a game for your soul. It's
All right.
a classic.
All right, that's a good point. I'll challenge him. I'd like to challenge him to a game for my soul.
Okay. So he has his oar and he has stopped rowing the boat. So you have his attention.
Very simple game. A game of dice. We each roll 1 die. The higher die wins. If I win, I go back to where I came from. If you win, you have my soul as your personal servant for the next 1001 years.
And a day.
I gave him a millennia and a year. I'm keeping the day.
Uh, He shrugs and produces a single D6 from his sleeve.
I point my hand at him. Age before beauty.
He hands you the dice. Well, shit.
Golf score?
No, I already ruled highest.
Better
I
hope for
know.
best of 3.
Welp.
Well, now we know what Blue is doing.
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
Death's bitch.
He reaches into his robe and he pulls out an entire thing of golf clubs and he hands it to you.
Sure.
I think you're his caddy for the next 1001 years.
Excellent. I set up a ball like on like the prow of the little boat, and offer him like the wood 8.
Beautiful. And that I think that's it. I think that's it for this session.
Blue caddying for death on the sticks.